Welcome to this training session, The Power of Playful Spaces, Building Developmentally Appropriate Learning Environments for Preschoolers. During this training session, we will explore strategies and ideas for setting up classrooms that support the overall development of preschool children. The session will cover how to arrange indoor learning centers that nurture various domains of development, cognitive, social, emotional, and physical, and how to extend these experiences outdoors. This training session is designed to empower childcare providers with practical knowledge and confidence to create enriching, engaging environments for young learners. In this training session, the main goals include gaining a strong understanding of developmentally appropriate practice, which is the foundation of effective early childhood education. The training will focus on the design and use of indoor learning centers that promote exploration, creativity, and learning across developmental areas. Equally important is the time spent outside, so the training session will explore creating outdoor environments that extend learning opportunities and encourage physical activity, curiosity, and connection with nature. Additionally, the session will discuss the integration of these spaces and the importance of inclusivity and support for diverse learners. Developmentally appropriate practice, commonly referred to as DAP, is a framework established by the National Association for the Education of Young Children to guide early childhood educators. DAP emphasizes teaching and caregiving strategies based on understanding how children develop and learn. DAP involves balancing activities that children choose themselves with structured learning guided by adults. It promotes active learning through play, hands-on experiences, and exploration. Importantly, it respects each child's individuality, recognizing that children develop at different rates and have unique interests and abilities. This ensures that our classrooms meet children where they are and help them grow. There are several core principles that guide developmentally appropriate practice. First, educators must have a deep understanding of typical child development stages so they can plan appropriate activities and expectations. Second, recognizing and respecting the diverse cultural backgrounds and individual differences of each child ensures inclusivity and relevance in learning experiences. Third, being flexible is essential. What works for one group or child may not suit another, so adapting both curriculum and physical environment is critical. Lastly, creating a safe and supportive environment fosters trust, encourages risk-taking, and promotes social emotional growth. Each of these pillars of developmentally appropriate practice contributes to an effective preschool classroom. Preschool children, roughly ages 3 to 5, experience rapid growth in multiple developmental domains. Physically, their motor skills become more refined, allowing for activities like climbing and drawing. Cognitively, they begin to understand concepts such as counting, sorting, and problem solving. Socially and emotionally, they start forming friendships and managing feelings. Preschoolers also show a growing desire for independence and are naturally curious, often learning best through play and hands-on exploration. Their language skills rapidly expand, enabling more complex communication and storytelling. Understanding these facets of development is crucial to creating environments that support all areas of development. Learning centers are specific areas within a classroom dedicated to various types of activities and types of learning. They encourage children to make choices and take ownership of their learning by deciding where to go and what to explore. Centers naturally promote social interaction, allowing children to work together or learn side by side. This also supports differentiated learning as activities can be tailored to different ability levels and interests. Practically, centers help organize the classroom by containing materials relevant to a particular type of play or learning, which helps children know what to expect and supports classroom routines. Some common learning centers found in preschool classrooms include dramatic play areas, where children act out real life or imaginative scenarios, They can develop social skills and language. Art centers encourage creativity, fine motor skills, and self-expression. Blocks and construction centers promote spatial reasoning, planning, and problem solving. Literacy centers focus on books, writing, and language development. Math and manipulative areas invite exploration of numbers, shapes, and patterns through hands-on materials. Science and sensory centers offer opportunities for discovery and exploration of natural phenomena, textures, and materials. These centers collectively support comprehensive development. When designing learning centers, space is a critical factor. Children need enough room to move freely between centers without bumping into one another. Centers should have clear physical boundaries such as rugs, shelves, or furniture arrangements to help children understand where one area ends and another one begins. This helps children aid in focus and organization. Position noisy or active centers away from quieter areas to minimize distractions. Additionally, you can arrange centers so you can easily observe and interact with children, providing support and guidance as needed. The thoughtful classroom layout promotes autonomy and smooth transitions among activities. Materials in learning centers must be carefully selected to match children's developmental levels and interests. Items that encourage creativity and problem solving, like blocks, dress-up clothes, and art supplies, support active engagement. Open-ended materials without fixed outcomes allow children to explore and use their imagination freely. For example, clay, sand, or loose parts. Manipulatives such as puzzles and counting beads help develop fine motor and cognitive skills. Regularly rotating materials keep centers fresh and exciting, preventing boredom and continually introducing new challenges and experiences. Labeling classroom materials in storage areas with both words and pictures is an essential strategy in creating a developmentally appropriate and rich preschool environment. These labels help young children, many of whom are pre-readers, start associating written words with their meanings by providing a visual picture alongside the text. For example, a bin labeled with the word blocks and a photo of blocks supports children in recognizing the connection between the symbol, which is the word, and the object, even before they can fully read. This practice promotes children's independence by making it easier for them to find what they need and understand where items belong during cleanup, thus fostering responsibility and classroom management skills. Labels placed at children's eye level promote accessibility and reinforce print awareness naturally. Incorporating pictures also supports children who are multilingual or English language learners by providing cues that transcend language barriers, making the classroom inclusive and welcoming. An inclusive classroom environment welcomes and supports all children, regardless of abilities, backgrounds, or languages. This means adapting materials and activities so children with differing abilities can participate fully. You can use books, toys, and visuals that reflect a variety of cultures and family structures to help every child feel represented and valued. Physical spaces should be accessible with accommodations like low shelves, ramps, or specialized seating as needed. It is also important to teach and model respect and empathy so children learn to appreciate differences and support each other. This fosters a positive social environment. Learning centers are not just play areas, but they are also intentional spaces aligned with curriculum goals. Consider the developmental objectives for the group and select or design centers accordingly. For example, a counting center used to reinforce numeracy skills. Use observations and assessments to understand children's interests and needs and adjust centers to support growth areas. Project-based centers such as farm or space help integrate contexts across subjects. Centers should provide a mix of child-initiated exploration and opportunities for adult guidance, scaffolding learning when appropriate. In a classroom with learning centers, teachers primarily serve as facilitators. Instead of directing every activity, teachers observe children and step in to support when needed, be it helping a child solve a problem or introducing new vocabulary words. Observation is central to understanding children's interests, skill levels, and social interactions, allowing teachers to adapt and tailor learning experiences. Teachers also use thoughtful questioning to extend thinking and encourage deeper exploration. Equally important is managing smooth transitions between centers and establishing clear classroom routines that promote independence and reduce disruptions. The classroom environment plays a vital role in supporting preschoolers' social-emotional development. Having cozy corners or listening centers provides children with a calm space to retreat and self-regulate when overwhelmed. Dramatic play centers naturally encourage cooperation, negotiation, and role-taking, skills essential for positive peer relationships. Teachers can use tools like emotion charts and storybooks to help children identify and express their feelings. Guided practice in conflict resolution, such as using iMessages and shared problem solving, fosters empathy and social skills. Promoting social emotional growth helps children build confidence, resilience, and a sense of belonging. Language development is a core focus across all learning centers. Providing language-rich materials such as puppets, storybooks, and picture cards encourages children to practice speaking, listening, and telling stories. A storytelling or puppet center invites imaginative play and dialogue, enhancing expressive language. Centers should also have word labels and vocabulary cards to introduce new words in context. Encouraging peer interaction allows children to practice conversational rules, such as taking turns and active listening. These experiences build vocabulary, narrative skills, and overall communication competence, foundational to later academic success. Literacy centers immerse children in print and storytelling experiences, vital for early reading and writing skills. A diverse selection of books, from picture books to tactile and interactive books, should be available, alongside comfortable seating or rugs that invite children to settle in for reading. Labeling classroom objects and including charts helps children make connections between spoken and printed language. Literacy centers also support emergent writing, where children experiment with letters, name writing, and storytelling through pictures and scribbles. Teachers can encourage story retelling and book sharing to develop comprehension and expressive language skills. The Writing Center is a key component of a developmentally appropriate preschool classroom. It is a thoughtfully arranged space where children can experiment with making marks, drawing, scribbling, and writing, all activities vital to early literacy development. In the Writing Center, children have access to various materials such as crayons, markers, pencils, blank paper, notepads, and envelopes. These tools encourage creativity and help children become more comfortable with the act of putting thoughts on paper. The center should also include letter and word cards, picture dictionaries, name cards, and simple storybooks to expose children to print in meaningful contexts. Beyond literacy, the Writing Center fosters essential fine motor skills as children grip writing tools and control their movements. By providing both lined and unlined paper, you support all stages of writing, from simple scribbles for younger children to more intentional shapes, symbols, or letters for older preschoolers. Teachers can enrich this center by introducing prompts such as write a letter to a friend or draw and label your favorite animal. Displaying children's writing samples gives them a sense of pride and reinforces positive attitudes toward literacy. The Dramatic Play Center is one of the most exciting and developmentally rich areas in a preschool classroom. It allows children to engage in pretend play where they try on different roles and explore both real and imaginary scenarios. This type of play naturally supports social emotional growth as children learn to negotiate roles, share materials, and cooperate with peers. It also provides wonderful opportunities for language development as children practice conversations, introduce new vocabulary, and tell stories through role playing. Teachers can set up dramatic play with flexible themes such as a kitchen, grocery store, doctor's office, restaurant, post office, or even fantasy themes like space travel or a castle. Changing themes helps sustain interest and introduces children to new concepts and cultures. Providing a variety of props, such as dress-up clothes, menus, play money, clipboards, and pretend food, expands the complexity of children's play. The Dramatic Play Center also encourages problem-solving and critical thinking as children create storylines and work through social situations. Teachers should observe closely, joining in only when needed to expand language or support inclusion. By incorporating multicultural props and diverse themes, this center also reflects the identities and backgrounds of all children in the classroom. Ultimately, dramatic play is more than fun. It's a powerful tool for building creativity, teamwork, empathy, and real-world skills. An art center is a vital place for self-expression and creativity. It should offer a wide range of materials, including paints, crayons, modeling clay, scissors, glue, fabrics, and natural items like leaves or twigs for collage work. Importantly, the art experiences should be open-ended, allowing children to explore colors, textures, and techniques without pressure to create perfect products. Art supports emotional expression and developing fine motor control. Incorporating diverse cultural and seasonal themes enriches children's understanding of the world and fosters appreciation of differences. Teachers should proudly display children's artwork, valuing the process and creativity. A music and movement center is an essential part of a developmentally appropriate preschool environment. This center supports physical development, creativity, social emotional growth, and cognitive skills all at once. Children naturally love to move, dance, and explore rhythm, so the environment should provide opportunities for them to do so safely. Materials might include instruments like drums, shakers, xylophones, or tambourines, as well as scarves, ribbons, and beanbags for movement. This space should be open and free of hazards to allow large body movements. Music selections can reflect a wide range of cultures, languages, and styles to broaden children's awareness. Teachers can use recorded music or sing with the children to encourage participation. Movement activities such as dancing, marching, clapping games, and yoga stretches support coordination and self-regulation. Integrating music with literacy or math concepts makes learning more engaging and memorable. Group music making builds cooperation, turn-taking, and listening skills. The center should be flexible enough for both individual exploration and small group activities. Having a music and movement area available provides children with joyful ways to express themselves. A well-planned center reinforces the idea that learning is active, creative, and fun. Take a moment to think about the creative experiences that are available in your classroom. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. Block and construction centers are dynamic spaces for cognitive and social development. Using a variety of building materials, such as wooden blocks, plastic tubes, or interlocking bricks, invites children to experiment with balance, symmetry, and design. Building requires planning, prediction, and problem solving, all of which support early math and engineering skills. Children often work together, sharing ideas and negotiating roles, which builds collaboration skills. Teachers can extend learning by introducing challenges like build the tallest tower or create a bridge. Block Center is a natural laboratory for inquiry and creativity. Take a moment to think about the opportunities that are available in your block and construction centers. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. The Science and Sensory Center engages children's curiosity about the natural world and their senses. Sensory bins filled with materials like sand, water, dirt, all encourage tactile exploration. Natural objects like rocks, feathers, and shells invite sorting and classification. Simple experiments, such as mixing colors or observing changes in materials, encourage observation and hypothesis making. Teachers should encourage children to describe what they feel, see, and hear, fostering vocabulary such as rough, smooth, heavy, or soft. The center supports scientific thinking, sensory integration, and language development simultaneously. Take a moment to think about the science and sensory experiences that are available in your classroom. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. The Math and Manipulative Center focuses on foundational numeracy and math concepts through hands-on play. Materials such as counting beads, sorting trays, shape puzzles, measuring cups, and pattern blocks engage children in counting, classifying, pattern recognition, and spatial reasoning. Manipulatives help develop fine motor skills alongside math concepts. Children learn problem solving and logical thinking through activities like matching shapes or completing puzzles. Teachers can introduce math vocabulary and pose questions during play, such as, "How many blocks did you use?" or "What shape is this block?" Making math playful builds positive attitudes towards numbers and reasoning. Take a moment to think about the math and manipulative experiences that are available in your classroom. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. A Loose Parts Center offers children endless opportunities for open-ended exploration, creativity, and problem solving. Loose parts are simple, everyday materials that can be moved, combined, redesigned, and repurposed in countless ways. Examples include shells, stones, bottle caps, sticks, buttons, fabric scraps, wooden spools, and recycled materials. Unlike fixed toys with only one function, loose parts allow children to use their imagination and invent new ways to play. This type of center fosters engineering and design thinking as children build, balance, and construct. It also supports math concepts such as sorting, classifying, and pattern making. Teachers can rotate materials to keep interest high and provoke new discoveries. The center should have organized storage such as bins or baskets so children can easily access and return items. Safety is key. Materials should be large enough to avoid choking hazards and checked regularly for cleanliness. Loose parts play also promotes collaboration as children negotiate, share, and build together. The open-ended nature encourages risk-taking, persistence, and resilience. A Loose Parts Center supports all areas of development and nurtures children's creativity and critical thinking. Providing such a space empowers children to see themselves as designers, inventors, and problem solvers. Take a moment to think about the loose parts experiences that are available in your classroom. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. The outdoor learning environment should be an extension of the indoor classroom, offering children additional opportunities to explore and learn through nature and movement. Outdoor spaces can include areas for physical activities such as running or climbing, places for hands-on exploration like digging or gardening, and quiet spots for reflection or reading. Incorporating natural elements, rocks, soil, plants, and water invites curiosity and sensory engagement. Safety is paramount, so spaces should be designed with clear boundaries, secure equipment, and accessible paths so all children, including those with mobility challenges can enjoy the outdoors comfortably. Outdoor learning spaces typically include several centers that mirror indoor learning but take advantage of nature. A nature discovery center might include tools like magnifiers and bug boxes to study plants and insects. Gross motor play spaces feature equipment such as climbing structures, balance beam, or open areas for running and jumping. Art and sensory stations allow exploration using natural and recycled materials. Gardening and planting areas teach about life cycles and responsibility as children care for plants. Water and sand play stations provide tactile sensory experiences and early science concepts such as volume and texture. Outdoor spaces should be flexible to accommodate different types of play and learning. Using movable materials like tires, crates, and logs allows children to transform their environment with experiment, construction, or imaginative play. Integrating natural elements that change with the seasons, fall leaves, spring flowers, connects children to the cycles of nature and promotes observation skills. Rather than overstructuring, outdoor environments should encourage creativity and unstructured play, giving children the freedom to invent games or explore as they wish. Design outdoor spaces to support both social group play and solitary quiet time, which meet diverse needs. Bringing center play outdoors enriches learning, supports physical activity, and connects children with nature, all while building skills across developmental domains. You could set up a dramatic play center outdoors. Set up play tents as cafes, markets, or homes, using tables and outdoor safe props. You might add picnic baskets, pretend food, gardening gloves, and fabric scraps for role play. You might use chalk to draw roads or house outlines for neighborhood scenes. For writing outdoors, provide clipboards, waterproof notepads, and washable markers for nature journals. Chalkboards or large chalk for sidewalk messages, letter practice, or drawing observations. You may have treasure hunt checklists, an outdoor mailbox for letter exchange. To incorporate reading or literacy outdoors, take baskets of books and soft cushions outside under a shaded area. Storytime circles seated on picnic blankets. You could use puppets or felt stories in portable baskets for storytelling in the shade. For block and construction outdoors, you might use large foam blocks, wooden planks, crates, or natural objects for building. You could create obstacle courses or forts with loose parts. You could build ramps for toy cars with gutters or boards. To take math and manipulatives outdoors, you might collect and sort items, leaves, rocks, acorns. You could use buckets and measuring cups for sand or water play and volume exploration. You might create numbers or patterns with chalk or hopscotch for counting. In order to have art outdoors, you might paint with water on fences, sidewalks, or use washable paints on large easels or paper taped to fences. Nature collages using leaves, flowers, and sticks could be made. Sidewalk chalk murals or group art projects. For sensory and science outdoors, you could set up a table or provide tubs for floating and sinking equipment. Observe bugs with magnifying glasses or care for garden plants. You could start a compost bed or dig for worms and roots. Take a moment to think about your outdoor learning environment. Write down 2 ways that you are supporting children's development and 2 items that you could improve. Assessment in a preschool classroom is ongoing and primarily observational. Teachers should monitor how children engage with different centers, noting interests, skills demonstrated, and social interactions. Documenting children's work, conversations, and problem solving provides evidence of growth and helps plan next steps. Reflecting on the effectiveness of centers allows teachers to adapt materials, layout, or focus to better meet children's needs. Incorporating children's voices by asking them what they like or want to explore helps sustain motivation and ownership. Thoughtful assessment guides continuous improvement in creating enriching learning environments. Take a moment to study this environment. What do you notice in each environment? Is there something that stands out to you? The organization and clarity of each classroom. The second classroom is clearly divided into distinct learning areas, which helps children understand where activities happen, and it promotes independent exploration. The first classroom has tables and shelves, but the spaces feel more cramped and less clearly defined. The materials and accessibility. In the second environment, materials are at child height, easy to access, and organized in baskets, which encourages autonomy and independence. The first environment has some accessible materials, but they are fewer and the shelving is bulkier and less inviting. Space and movement. The second classroom provides plenty of open space for movement and interaction, which is crucial for physical skills and cooperative play. The first classroom is more congested, limiting free movement and flexibility in certain activities. Natural elements and lighting. The second classroom has natural light, plants, and a calming, neutral aesthetic, which supports focus, emotional regulation, and a connection to nature. The first classroom is more visually busy with bright colors and wall decorations, which can be distracting and overstimulating for some children. Child-centered design. The second classroom's furniture is scaled to children with cozy nooks and inviting learning centers, supporting engagement, comfort, and independent choice. The first classroom has a more traditional setup with tables and chairs dominating the space, which encourages teacher-directed activities more than child-led exploration and play. In summary, the second environment supports child-led learning, exploration, and independence while providing clear organization, safe movement, and a calm, inviting atmosphere. It aligns more closely with developmentally appropriate practices in early childhood education. Here are some more ideas related to the comparisons of the previous classrooms. Take a moment to study each of these. This is a preschool learning centers and outdoor environment engagement rubric. You can use this rubric to observe each child during classroom and outdoor activities. Rate the child in each domain from 1, which is emerging, to 4, which is exemplary, based on behaviors and skills that you observe. Write brief notes to provide context or examples supporting each rating. Use this rubric to identify strengths and areas where further support or enrichment is needed. Reflect on how the environment or teaching strategies can be adjusted to promote growth. Continuous professional development ensures educators provide the highest quality early childhood education. Keeping updated with research, standards like developmentally appropriate practice, and innovative teaching strategies enriches your practice. When you participate in workshops and collaborate with peers, you foster new ideas and gain support. Self-reflection helps educators evaluate their teaching methods and the environment, considering how to better support children's growth and engagement. Asking for feedback from children, families, and coworkers provides valuable insights. Your commitment to lifelong learning benefits educators and ultimately enhances outcomes for children. To continue your professional journey, there are many excellent resources available. The NACCE website offers an abundance of information on developmentally appropriate practices and classroom quality. Numerous books provide practical ideas and research-based strategies for arranging preschool classrooms and outdoor environments. Look for webinars and online courses that can offer convenient training and updates on best practices. You may even find some local early childhood organizations that provide professional development opportunities. Staying engaged with these resources helps you maintain high-quality practices and a deep understanding of children's needs. In summary, creating a developmentally appropriate preschool classroom with well-designed learning centers and outdoor environments is essential to support holistic child development. Learning centers provide opportunities for autonomy, social interaction, and targeted skill development. Outdoor environments extend learning, encouraging physical activity, creativity, and a connection to nature. Inclusivity ensures all children feel valued and supported, while family engagement enriches learning beyond the classroom. Regular observation, reflection, and willingness to adapt make the learning environment responsive and effective. By implementing these strategies, you can foster joyful, meaningful early learning experiences every day. Reflect on this training content and the experiences you have with your learning environment and outdoor environment. What challenges have you faced and what successes can you celebrate? Use this training opportunity to plan how you might implement or improve your strategies in your classroom setting. You can create enriching learning environments indoors and outdoors that foster children's growth and joy in learning.